This guide is going to take you step by step to walk you through equipment in Monster Hunter World's Iceborne expansion. It will start at the very start of the game and end once you've unlocked the final monsters in the Guiding Lands. Monster Hunter is a pack rat's game. You'll want to hoard every upgrade material you can get your grubby little paws on. Every time you see a bone pile or a mining node, you'll want to gather everything to add it to your stockpile. The last thing you want is to be missing some basic upgrade material and have to go hunt it down. Occasionally through upgrading, you may need to go back and gather materials from a lower difficulty tier. Generally, it's easier to push through to the next difficulty tier, and then, if you need lower ranked materials, come back with better gear to farm them then. Farming a high-ranked Teostra in high-rank gear takes a while, but it's significantly faster and easier to do so in master rank gear. Even entry-level master rank gear. Weapons really fall into two categories: scaling and non-scaling. Scaling weapons are very much gear dependent. They will offer the highest damage output possible, but you'll have to sacrifice a lot of quality of life or defensive skills for these to maximize their effectiveness. You'll have to get maximum handicraft, attack, elemental attack, and critical eye for those to reach their full potential. The other type is non-scaling. These are what you'd consider gear independent. They don't scale as well, but allow you to have more build diversity. There is some overlap across these two types, and sometimes a weapon is both good going all in on the attack skills, and good right out of the box without many. The point of your weapon is to deal damage, full stop. There's not really any argument there. The weapons here are suggestions based on tests for damage output, sharpness, and ease of build. There may be alternative weapon paths that you may prefer. Certain weapons may deal less damage overall, but could allow you to insert an additional armor skill via increased decoration slots. For armor, the gear and setups I've listed are generally what I feel works well with the specific nuances of the weapons. Unfortunately, it's impossible to get everything you want from any single setup. There's often a lot of discussion on meta builds that advocate for pure damage output setups. For a lot of the gear setups in this video, there are a good number of defensive and utility skills. Keep in mind these are just suggestions and you can make deviations if you prefer certain skills over others. If you're starting fresh with Iceborne or coming back after a hiatus, you'll have access to the Guardian armor once you install Iceborne. While this may not be the most useful set in terms of skills, it is a high rank set with a lot of defensive capability. Its armor value alone is so much higher than the low rank alternatives that it's worth using. Using the Guardian set will let you focus all your materials into upgrading your weapons, instead of having to choose between building new armor or upgrading your weapons. If you're making a new character for Iceborne, the Guardian set should just be an option in the character creator. Otherwise, it should be available in your equipment box as soon as you get into Astera. If you're coming back to an old character, you'll have to go to your room and claim it from the feline attendant via the add-on bonuses menu. Once claimed, put the Guardian armor set on and forget armor exists until you reach high rank. Then we can talk about optional upgrades, but realistically, the Guardian armor set can easily carry you through to master rank. The Guardian armor set is very defensive oriented, but it does have the skill Marathon Runner, which is actually quite nice for dual blades. Marathon Runner reduces your stamina consumption while doing actions that have continuous stamina depletion. This includes sprinting and going into demon mode for dual blades. The remainder of the skills are very defensive in nature. You'll get 30% more health out of healing items, 50 maximum HP, which is independent from food buffs from the canteen or nutrient items, and Divine Blessing, which will cause you to take reduced damage from hits based on a random chance. This, plus its high rank armor value, means you're basically going to coast through low rank. It's pretty disgusting how overpowered it is. For dual blades, elemental damage is highly valued, as well as sharpness, because dual blades hit frequently for lower damage than other weapons. Increasing the maximum sharpness for the damage multiplier and length of sharpness is a priority. In an ideal scenario, you will have one set of dual blades for each element to exploit the individual elemental weaknesses of each monster. In low rank and high rank, you can largely forgo most of the elementals and instead focus your efforts on thunder and water. Those will be more than enough to push you through to master rank. 3-star weakness exploitation is ideal, but 2-star is a reasonable alternative. It will be a little while before we get access to elemental dual blades. For now, just start using your match slicers and start with your assigned quests. Prioritize looking for bone piles and iron ore in the ancient forest while you complete your first assigned quests. Jagras of the ancient forest, followed by a Kestodon kerfuffle. This first upgrade is really your choice. You can use iron ore to upgrade your match slicers 1 into match slicers 2. Alternatively, you'll want to use bones you gather to build or buy a pair of Bone Hatchets 1, and you should immediately upgrade those to Bone Hatchets 2 using Monster Bone S. So pro tip here, make sure you're selecting the right weapon from the upgrade menu. Selecting any weapon will open up the upgrade tree, but if you want to upgrade your Bone Hatchets 1, it won't work if you've selected to upgrade your Match Slicers 1. Realistically, it doesn't really matter what you pick or use here, both will be roughly equivalent. Continue with your next assigned quest, the Great Jagras Hunt, and use your Match Slicers 2 or Bone Hatchets 2 to hunt Great Jagras. Continue with your next assigned quest, Bird-Brained Bandit. Kuluyaku has an upgrade. You may have to hunt Kuluyaku multiple times for the materials. If you do, resort to the optional quest to hunt Kuluyaku that should unlock after the assigned quest. Upgrade your starting Match Slicers 1 to Match Slicers 2 if you haven't yet, and then use the Kuluyaku materials to upgrade them again into Rending Beaks 1. Kuluyaku also has a unique piece of armor that will be useful for a few of the Canteen quests, and the Zora Magdaros set-piece battle later. The Kulu Vambraces have Pro Transporter, which makes carrying herbivore eggs or cannonballs a lot less tedious. This is a nice pickup if you can spare the materials, but it should only be used during quests where you need to deliver eggs or against Zora Magdaros. Stick with the Guardian set otherwise. The Rending Beaks 1 will have to tide you over until you've beaten Pookie Pookie in the next assigned quest, Urgent, Pookie Pookie Hunt. Pookie Pookie doesn't have any useful gear for dual blades, but it has a good upgrade for your Palico. If you get a poison sac from your assigned hunt, use it to forge a feline Pookie bow for your Palico. Your Palico isn't overly useful for dealing damage, but with a status weapon, it can and will reliably inflict that status throughout hunts. Generally, you don't want to commit to a status weapon for yourself, as raw or elemental weapons will deal more damage over the course of the hunt than things like poison will deal. Giving your Palico a poison weapon is a great way to up its damage potential and take advantage of the poison status. There are a few paralysis weapons for Palicos that are in a similar situation, but they're not as reliable to get, usually requiring rare bugs from the ancient tree. I would strongly recommend a poison weapon for your Palico. But for your Palico gear, it basically comes down to this. Anytime a monster is a required hunt, but doesn't provide us with any useful materials for weapons or armor, you can safely use it to upgrade your Palico's gear should you choose. I will outline a few upgrades during this guide, but anytime you choose, you can give your Palico a gear upgrade. Palico gear is mostly linear armor and resistance gains the higher tier monsters get, so it's not too much to think about. Basically, just give your cat a weapon with poison or paralysis, and whatever armor you want. Back on track, you'll have access to a new locale, and you can get your next assigned quests in Wildspire Wastes for the best kind of quest, to hunt a Baroth, and follow up with Sinister Shadow of the Swamp to hunt Juratotus. Juratotus is the first monster to give us elemental dual blades. If you don't have them yet, build a set of Bone Hatchets 1 and upgrade them to Bone Hatchets 2. Then upgrade these Bone Hatchets 2 down the Juratotus path into Madness Pangas 1. You may have to hunt Juratotus multiple times using the 3-star optional quest, the Piscine Problem. From this point onward, you should exclusively be using elemental dual blades. Next up is the assigned quest, Flying Sparks, Tobi Kadachi. Conveniently, Tobi Kadachi is weak to water, so it's a good opportunity to test out your new Madness Pangas 1. Tobi Kadachi has one of the best dual blade paths throughout the entirety of the game. After completing the hunt, buy or forge a new pair of Bone Hatchets 1, then upgrade them immediately to Bone Hatchets 2. Follow this up by upgrading them into Pulsar Hatchets 1 down the Tobi Kadachi path. This is a very important upgrade. These will be your workhorses throughout low, high, and even a lot of master rank. The Tobi Kadachi line has good raw, good thunder, good sharpness, and positive affinity which will let you perform critical hits. To top it off, they are easy to build throughout the course of the game which will minimize your farming. They're the ideal dual blades for anything weak to thunder element, which you'll see is a huge number of the monsters in the roster. You may have to hunt Tobi Kadachi a few times. Use the optional 3-star quest, The Current Situation, until you've made the Pulsar Hatchets 1. Make sure to break Tobi Kadachi's tail, front claws, and face for additional rewards to speed up the process. Next up is Anjanath for the assigned quest, The Encroaching Anjanath. Anjanath is 3-star weak to water, but it's also 2-star weak to thunder. The Pulsar Hatchets 1 have 10% affinity and better sharpness, making them a superior choice over the Madness Pangas 1 for this hunt. Afterwards, you'll have to do the first Zorah Magdaros set piece with the assigned quest, one for the history books. This is basically a sure win, and you should be able to complete it without much input at all. After Zorah Magdaros, you'll gain access to a new locale, the Coral Highlands. This new area has several new tiers of upgrade materials. First up, you should mine in expedition mode to get access to Coral Crystal and Dragonite Ore. Once you have 3 Coral Crystal, you should upgrade your Pulsar Hatchets 1 into Pulsar Hatchets 2. Coral Crystal is also a common reward from optional hunts of large monsters in the Coral Highlands. Once you gain access to Dragonite Ore, the second piece of low rank gear that's advantageous to get are the High Metal Greaves. These provide heavy artillery. These are only useful during the Zorah Magdaros set piece when you get access to cannons and ballistas. These are easy to build, but again, should only be used during the Zorah Magdaros battle at the very end of low rank. Stick with the Guardian set for everything else. After your mining adventure has ended, you'll want to continue with your assigned quests. Ballooning problems to hunt a Paolumu, followed by Radaban Roadblock in the new locale, the Rotten Vale. Radaban is mandatory, but it has some options for you, well, more accurately, your Palico. The Feline Bond Ball is a sleep weapon which is a reasonable alternative to a poison weapon. The Radaban Feline gear is pretty convenient to build now as an upgrade to the Pookie gear. Build the Feline Bond Helm and the Feline Bond Suit if you want. You should also be able to pick up the Kitty of the Valley Rod if you've been fertilizing your ancient tree and have found a great hornfly from your harvest box. Paralysis is a nice alternative to poison for your Palico. After getting your Pulsar Hatchets 2, there is an optional hunt you can do if you'd like to upgrade your Palico's poison weapon. I would not bother with this and instead pass it, but you can hunt a Rathian in the optional 4-star quest, Royal Relocation. If you hunted the Rathian, upgrade your Palico's weapon by building a Feline Rathian Rapier. This will be a marginal improvement in your Palico's damage output over the Feline Pookebow. Finally, before moving on, you can hunt a Great Gyros to upgrade your Madness Pangas 1. Do the optional 4-star quest, A Rotten Thing to Do, and hunt a Great Gyros. Great Gyros is immune to thunder, but feel free to use your Pulsar Hatchets 2 here regardless, since Great Gyros is pretty darn easy. Once you've got the required materials, upgrade your Madness Pangas 1 to Madness Pangas 2. Once you're finished with all that, it's time to move on to the next assigned quest, Legiana, Embodiment of Elegance. Legiana is weak to thunder, so continue to use the Pulsar Hatchets 2. Legiana is the first 5-star monster, and that means it will drop Monster Bone Plus in the rewards screen at the end of your hunt. Monster Bone Plus are required for the final low rank upgrades to both your Pulsar Hatchets 2 and Madness Pangas 2. You'll get more Monster Bone Plus through the remaining assigned hunts, so don't feel obligated to grind optional quests just yet. Prioritize upgrading your Pulsar Hatchets 2 to Pulsar Hatchets 3 once you've obtained enough Monster Bone Plus. After that's finished, you should upgrade your Madness Pangas 2 to Madness Pangas 3 when you get the required materials. Use the Pulsar Hatchets 3 for the next assigned quests. Into the Bowels of the Vale to hunt Odogaron, and then a Fiery Throne atop the forest to hunt Rathalos. Now swap to the Madness Pangas 3 and complete the next assigned quest, Horn Tyrant Below the Sands to hunt a Diablos. After Horn Tyrant Beneath the Sands, you'll want to check the Provision Stockpile vendor. He should now sell Armor Charms and Power Charms. You'll want to purchase these as they provide a small, but free, attack and armor bonus just for having them sit in your inventory. These are quite expensive, so if you need to get some money, consider selling some monster materials that you have in excess. I would probably just crush Great Jagras over and over and sell the materials until you get enough to purchase them both. Alternatively, you can do some of the extra optional quests that come up, such as the quest for Hunter Tools from the workshop. When you're ready, start the final low-rank assigned quest, a Colossal Task, where you'll have to take on Zorah Magdaros. Equip the Madness Pangas 3, Kulu Vambraces, and the High Metal Greaves if you have them. Fill the rest of the gear slots with the Guardian Armor before you go into this battle. You'll lose some defense, but you'll see that isn't really an issue for this hunt. The Kulu Vambraces will make your cannonballs easier to transport via the increased movement speed from Pro Transporter, and High Metal Greaves will make your cannon and ballista shots deal more damage, which makes this a little faster. This is totally optional, and you can safely just stick with the full Guardian set throughout this entire encounter if you prefer that. After the hunt is over, you'll get cutscenes, and unceremoniously start the next assigned quest, Invader in the Waste, which is just a Pookie. Or is it? This Pookie is actually a high rank one and will be deceptively strong. Once you've taken it out, you'll ascend to high rank. In high rank, you'll have the option of grinding armor, as it will be significantly closer in defenses to the Guardian set. Armor options will be provided for you to use at your discretion, but the Guardian armor set, when upgraded with armor spheres, is more than adequate to get you through the entirety of high rank relatively painlessly. Every piece of armor you build will be rendered obsolete the second you hit master rank, but high rank is still a rather lengthy section of the game. Make the judgment call yourself. If you're willing to farm these pieces of gear, your skills will be more offense oriented. If you don't care to farm, just stick with the Guardian set all the way to master rank. I completed the entirety of low and high rank exclusively using the Guardian set with no upgrades, no mantles or specialized tools, and no decorations or charms for this guide. Just for fun, I also did master rank by doing the same thing. No tools, no decorations, and mostly no charms. Just the equipment listed in the guide. High rank introduces decorations as well as alpha and beta versions of armor sets. The beta versions have less skills, but have decoration slots available to provide customization options. Decorations have a random drop rate, and there's no way to ensure you get any specific decorations. As such, this guide won't list decorations, but I will provide some suggestions for charms and fairly common decorations for you to put in. The appropriate elemental attack decorations and charms for your weapon of choice are good options, as are the standard attack and critical eye. Other quality of life charms like speed eating, divine blessing, and stun resistance are nice alternative pickups. Dual blades also benefit from stamina management skills like stamina surge and marathon runner, so those are additional options for you. You should do a little bit of personal experimentation and try some variances of skill setups to see what you like the best. Since we had to fight a high rank Pookie Pookie to get into high rank, it's the same situation as the last time we fought one. There's no gear options for us, so just use the options to upgrade your Palico's weapon and armor. Forge a Feline Pookie Bow Alpha, then a Feline Pookie Hood Alpha, and a Feline Pookie Mantle Alpha. You'll likely get these materials from the first required hunt. The first priority in high rank, above all else, is to upgrade your weapons, since we already have a high rank armor set with the Guardian armor. The most annoying part of upgrading the Pulsar Hatchets 3 is that you don't start with a repeatable quest for Toby Kadachi in high rank. You'll have to go on expeditions in the ancient forest until you find Toby Kadachi, then hunt him, and a repeatable quest should appear. You can also hunt Toby Kadachi by using investigations found from monster tracks, so check your investigations to see if you have one for high rank Toby Kadachi. You should get a canteen capture quest called Stuck in Their Ways at some point, and then a regular hunting quest called A Hair-Raising Experience after finding Toby Kadachi out in the wild or during investigations. Once you have the required materials from hunting Toby Kadachi in high rank, upgrade your Pulsar Hatchets 3 into the high rank version, Kadachi Claws 1. The second tier of the Kadachi Claws are technically available right now if you're willing to hunt Diablos in Expedition mode, as they require Diablos' majestic horns. I would suggest waiting and instead completing the next assigned quests. A new optional quest becomes available after Pink Rathian, which simplifies this process of majestic horn farming. After you've made your Kadachi Claws 1, you can hunt Juratotis in the 6-star optional quest, Up to Your Waist in the Waste. Use the materials gathered to upgrade your Madness Pangas 3 into Jurya Hatchets 1. The Kadachi Claws 1 are adequate for taking out the next assigned quest you'll have to do. Eventually, you'll have to hunt the Pink Rathian for the assigned quest, Old World Monster in the New World. You'll have to find Pink Rathian tracks while doing expeditions, quests, or investigations, so keep an eye out for them. If you'd like some armor alternatives, you can hunt Kulu Yaku. You can build the Kulu Headpiece Alpha for Weakness Exploit and the Kulu Male Alpha for Stamina Surge and Critical Eye. Then you can hunt Baroth. Baroth's Vambrace's Beta and Greaves Alpha can be nice pickups and pair well with this set. After you've completed the next assigned quest, Old World Monster in the New World, you'll have new upgrade options. Pink Rathian and other monsters in the 7-star optional quest category can have monster hardbones in the quest rewards screen. These are required to upgrade your Jurya Hatchets 1 into Jurya Hatchets 2. Upgrade them as soon as you get the required materials. If you manage to cut the tail off of Pink Rathian and from a carve or as a quest reward received a Rathian Spike Plus, you can also forge your Palico a new weapon. Forge the Feline Rathian Rapier Alpha, but you shouldn't go too far out of your way for it. With your Jirya hatchets upgraded, it's time to tackle the Kodachi claws. Fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on your viewpoint, all we really need from Diablos is Majestic Horns. Breaking horns can be difficult with dual blades due to poor reach, but there is a trick you can do to speed up the process of farming Majestic Horns, since you don't really need anything else from Diablos. Bring Mega Barrel Bombs and Large Barrel Bombs with the combo materials to mix more, Shock Traps, Pitfall Traps, and Sonic Bombs. You'll want to start the optional 7-star quest to hunt a single Diablos called, well, that Diablos. You should use the Jirya Hatchets 2 for this if possible, but the Kodachi Claws 1 will work in a pinch. Accept this quest and start at the Northeast Camp in Area 15. Here you can just jump down and Diablos should be very close by. Immediately set your Shock Trap and put the 2 Mega Barrel Bombs down. Diablos should see you, roar, and then charge at you straight into the trap. Ideally, the horns will connect with the bombs and blow them up, and then Diablos will be stunned by the trap. Otherwise, blow up the barrel bombs via your slinger or just by attacking them, and this should immediately break the first horn. Try and get a demon dance off while the trap is still active if you can. Now the trap should break, and Diablos will likely burrow underground. Switch to your Screamer Pod here. When Diablos is underground, you can use the Screamer Pod to get it to unburrow and stun it. Immediately head for its head and start attacking it. If you haven't broken the second horn at this point, you can resort to the Pitfall Trap and backup bombs. Once the second horn is broken, you can just go into your menu and select Return from Quest. Majestic Horns are only available via quest reward from breaking both of Diablos' horns. Unfortunately, they aren't a sure thing, and you can and will likely get the lower rank Twisted Horns about 50% of the time. If you prefer, you can just do this quest the old-fashioned way and hunt Diablos and then kill or capture it. It is faster and easier to do these horn runs, provided you don't need other Diablos materials. Successful runs will take about 90 seconds, and of course, unfortunately, that's followed by some serious loading screens. Once you've got the 2 Majestic Horns, upgrade your Kodachi Claws 1 into Kodachi Claws 2. Now you'll have to harvest more tracks to eventually take on Nergigante in the assigned quest, A Wound, and a Thirst. While you're harvesting tracks, you can build some new armor if you choose. You can hunt Rathalos and Odogaron in the optional quests to build these sets. If you prefer not to grind, you can stick with the Guardian set. Odogaron's set provides a lot of critical eye and speed sharpening. The 4-piece set bonus is Protective Polish, which prevents your weapon from losing sharpness for 60 seconds after sharpening. This is a great way to maintain sharpness before more reliable methods of sharpness management become available. You should pair this 4-piece Odogaron set with the Rathalos chest for level 2 weakness exploit. The second alternative should be considered an extreme luxury set. I would not bother farming for this as it will be rendered obsolete in Master Rank, but this is going to be a very strong offensive-oriented set. You'll want to go for 2-piece Rathalos for the critical element set bonus. You'll lose out on Protective Polish, but you'll have a significantly higher damage output. You'll want to farm the Rathalos Helm Beta, the Rathalos Mail Beta, and the Rathalos Greaves Alpha for a 3rd stack of weakness exploit. Alternatively, you can use the Odogaron Greaves Alpha for Critical Eye, which still has amazing synergy with Critical Element. This set is best paired with Diablos and Black Diablos' 2-piece set for Bludgeoner, which increases your attack power as your weapon's sharpness degrades. The Diablos pieces also offer Focus and Marathon Runner, which are nice skills for getting more value out of Demon Mode. You'll have to farm both Diablos and Black Diablos for the Diablos Coil Alpha and the Diablos Nero Vambraces Alpha. These sets should both be considered luxury sets, and the Guardian armor will fare just fine throughout the rest of high rank. Build them if you want, but consider them optional. These armor sets will last you to the end of high rank should you choose to build them. The remaining sets from Elder Dragons in high rank are good, but they will be replaced as soon as you enter Master Rank, so it's not worth the time or effort required to build them. However, once you complete A Wound and a Thirst, Nergigante provides the upgrade materials for both of your dual blades. The Kodachi Claws 2 can be upgraded into Kodachi Claws 3 once you've obtained 2 Nergigante Talons. The Jirya Hatchets 2 require Elder Dragon Bones, which come as rewards from any Elder Dragons that you fight. Once you've obtained the required 2, upgrade your Juria Hatchets 2 into Juria Hatchets 3. You'll need Wyvern Gems for both of these upgrades, and those are best obtained from monsters like Juratotus, Baroth, or Radaban. These monsters all pay out in the reward screen and are relatively fast kills. As the flagship monster of base game Monster Hunter World, Nergigante has strong weapons. If you're willing to farm Nergigante, you can build his Nurgle Gouge. This weapon has the best sharpness out of all of your weapons and will be a nice option for the final required Elder Dragons in high rank. However, you won't even be able to get to the final tier of it until you're around Master Rank 100, so I would consider this an extreme luxury item and therefore very optional. You'll need to go through the ore path, starting with a new pair of Match Slicers 1 and progressing through to the upgraded Dual Slicers, and finally to Chrome Slicers 1, before finally branching down to the Nergigante path and upgrading them into the Nurgle Gouge. Now you'll have to hunt the remaining Elder Dragons of high rank in whatever order you choose. Complete the assigned quests Kushala Daura, Dragon of Steel, Teostra the Infernal, and Hellish Fiend Valhazak. Use your Kodachi Claws 3 or the Nurgle Gouge for Kushala Daura. Use the Juria Hatchets 3 or the Nurgle Gouge for Teostra. Use the Nurgle Gouge if you grinded for it, otherwise resort to the Kodachi Claws 3 for Valhazak. Bring a lot of Nullberries for this one. This is optional, and you can always come back to it after you hit Master Rank since it will make farming easier, but you'll want to hunt a high rank Basil Juice at some point. You've probably seen one at least once during your hunts as he carpet bombs you while you're already preoccupied with another monster. You'll want 2 Basil Juice Talons. You can combine a Basil Juice Talon and your Power Charm to make a Power Talon. That provides you with a stronger bonus to your attack power. This actually stacks with a Power Charm, so purchase another one from the provision stockpile. Then, upgrade your Armor Charm in the same way and purchase a second one. You'll want to keep all 4 of these items in your inventory at all times. Finally, you'll get the final assigned quest for high rank, Land of Convergence. Xeno'jiiva is equally weak to all elements, so it's your choice here. Personally, I would use the Kodachi Claws or Nurgle Gouge if you grinded for it because of their superior sharpness. Xeno'jiiva does hold an upgrade to the Nurgle Gouge. If you grinded for it and got lucky with material drops, you can upgrade them now into Decimation's Claws. Personally, I would skip these and come back to them later. After completing Land of Convergence, you'll have completed the main story of the base game Monster Hunter World, and it's time to move on to the expansion content. You'll want to talk to the people around Astera and start the next storyline. Master Rank represents a large difficulty spike. You'll have to fight significantly harder monsters and deal with harsher environments. Nothing has really changed equipment-wise, it's the same style of progression, besides a new tier of sharpness for your weapons. You won't have seen white in high rank because of the speed we advance through it. White is fairly common on most good weapons in Master Rank, but purple is the true final tier. The damage bonus from purple sharpness is not nearly as significant as it used to be in the previous games, so using exclusively white sharpness is more than acceptable. There are still alpha and beta versions of Master Rank armor, and just like in high rank, the beta versions provide more slots for decorations. You're probably better off just going with the beta versions of armor almost across the board, but you'll have to make a judgment call yourself depending on your decorations. Alpha will have more skills, beta will have less skills, but more slots for customization. Master Rank does introduce level 4 decorations which feature multiple skills, such as attack/free meal in one decoration. These level 4 decorations are very common, so building a beta piece over an alpha one is generally recommended at this point. Moving forward, I would generally suggest prioritizing the following skills via your decoration slots if you have them. These decorations are fairly common as level 1 decorations and in level 4 decorations. Speed Eating level 3 is super useful as it allows you to chug mega potions insanely fast, which can and will prevent you from carding. The other skill I'd recommend taking is Stun Resistance. A lot of monsters in Master Rank are fast, strong, and combo heavy. Getting stunned in Master Rank is a death sentence. You're gonna card if you get stunned. Stun Resistance is easy to incorporate, so I do like to prioritize it. Speed Eating and Stun Resistance have pretty nice synergy in that you can tank a hit, get up, and chug a Mega Potion, then immediately tank another hit without carding or getting stunned. Monsters like Tigrex are extremely fast and will combo you easily, so having stun resistance level 3 to eliminate stuns and speed eating level 3 for faster heals between hits are both extremely welcome. Free meal is also a really nice pickup. It gives you a 25% chance to not consume an item when you use it. I incorporate all of these skills into nearly all of my sets, either via decorations, the armor skills themselves, or from charms. For charms, I generally consider it a wildcard. It's a bonus way to get an extra skill. As stated previously, speed eating and stun resistance are really nice if you don't get them via gear or decorations. Personally, I use a lot of charms against specific monsters like the Sleep Charm versus Nightshade Paolumu and the Miasma Charm versus Black Veil Valhazak. That way I just keep my core armor set, then I swap my charm depending on the hunt and don't have to worry about swapping decorations to incorporate a skill I want versus a certain monster. I do personally advocate these kind of adjustments for individual monsters, especially because Master Rank's difficulty is substantially higher than low and high rank. You'll have to make judgment calls yourself here. Everyone seems to favor this kind of all-in on the damage output, but a lot of the defensive skills or quality of life skills are just really nice to have. Divine Blessing on your charm may harm your potential damage output, but what's the point of running a meta build if you're failing hunts? After a certain point, I do recommend the Razor Sharp Charm, which is a quest reward. It's extremely useful for general purpose hunting for dual blades, but it's your call which charms and decorations that you use. I went through the entirety of Master Rank with no charms, no hunter tools, and no decorations. So anything you can get is going to be helpful. Back on topic, your immediate goal in Master Rank is to do the quest line after beating Xeno'jiiva to get your new hub, Celiana, established. Just follow the quest line and you'll end up having to fight a Beatotus for the assigned quest, Baptism by Ice, in the new locale, Hoarfrost Reach. This Beatotus hunt will actually be quite difficult and long in your current gear setup, but that's going to change shortly. Use your Kodachi Claws 3 for this hunt. Now, Beatotus' path is good, and it will basically take over the Juratotus' path right here. Beatotus' dual blades hit white sharpness immediately and have a very desirable ice element. Unfortunately, Juratotus' dual blades in Master Rank require Handicraft to hit white, and that's a tall order in this early stage unless you have a maxed out Handicraft charm and rare decorations. Water is still a desirable element, but ice is usually fairly close to water in terms of type weakness. It's not as large of a switch as it may seem. You can build Beatotus' Bio Hatchets 1 outright if you want, but it requires less materials to upgrade your Jirya Hatchets 3 into Bio Hatchets 1. I would strongly suggest that you just upgrade your Jirya Hatchets 3 and don't look back. There will be a new water path available to us soon. After beating Beatotus and returning to Celiana, you should do the rounds and talk to everyone in your new hub. The Elder Melder should be your first target. She'll give you an optional quest for The Great Jagras Returns. You will have a choice to make here regarding armor. You can continue to hunt Beatotus to build its set, which has earplugs and decent synergy with your new Bio Hatchets. Or you can hunt Great Jagras for its set to give you a baseline set of armor. I would strongly recommend hunting Great Jagras until you can build its entire armor set. It works as a very good baseline for getting started in Master Rank. The improved defenses alone will make going back and farming monsters significantly less dangerous. It also has some nice quality of life skills like speed eating and free meal. Great Jagras is also insanely easy to hunt, so it's quick to build a full set of its gear. I would actually recommend the alpha version in this case. If you're coming from the end game of Monster Hunter World and are equipped with Arc-Tempered Elder Dragon gear, you'll likely be able to hang on to it for a little while. Every single Master Rank armor set will greatly outclass even the best high rank gear in terms of defenses. You'll need to upgrade eventually, and you'll probably really start to feel it around the time you have to hunt Barioth. Hunt Master Rank Great Jagras using your new Bio Hatchets 1 to give them a trial. You should hunt Great Jagras until you can build its entire set. Don't forget to kill and carve standard Jagras for shards and claws. You will need a lot of these for various armor and weapons. And don't forget to hit up bone piles and mining nodes. Now with entry-level Master Rank weapons and armor, it's a good time to do some further customization. You'll want to hunt Tobi Kadachi to upgrade your Thunder Elemental dual blades once again. Hunt Tobi Kadachi in the Master Rank 1-star quest, Beating Around the Bush. Once you've gathered the required materials from Tobi Kadachi, upgrade your Kadachi Claws 3 into the Master Rank version, Kadachi Greathawks 1. When you're using the Kadachi Greathawks, the Kadachi Vambraces Beta Plus are a nice pickup for a little extra oomph on your Thunder attack. You can consider picking them up as well. You'll also get some new options from low-tier Master Rank monsters. The Kuluyaku chest is actually pretty nice. It provides critical eye and stamina surge, just like in high rank. If you have a level 4 decoration at this point that you like, or one that has critical eye on it, build the beta version. Otherwise, go ahead and stick with alpha. I personally really like Baroth's Greaves. You'll get level 2 stun resistance and Marathon Runner with a single slot in the alpha version. The beta version has level 2 stun resistance and a lot of socket options. Stun resistance is insanely nice to have in Master Rank, especially if you're learning the new, faster monsters, so these are a nice pickup. They're super customizable as well with those decoration slots. Baroth's Vambraces Beta Plus are also a nice pickup for Marathon Runner and decoration slots. The alpha version has guard, which you'll get no use out of with dual blades, so if you build these, build the beta version. If you prefer the skills on Beatotus' gear, it's a good alternative to the Great Jagger set as a baseline. If you're going for Beatotus, you'll pretty much want to go all in on it for level 5 earplugs and ice attack for your Bio hatchets. You can swap out the Bio chest for the Kulu chest to get additional critical eye if you prefer that over ice attack. Once you're situated with entry-level Master Rank gear, continue with your assigned quest of Banbaro Blockade. Use your Kadachi Greathawks 1 for this one. Banbaro's gear looks awesome, but unfortunately it's pretty terrible for dual blades. However, Banbaro does provide materials for the Master Rank Workshop Tree dual blades, which just so happen to be Water Elemental. I would consider this optional at this point, as the Bio hatchets will be adequate in a pinch, but these will be the preferred Water Elemental dual blades in Master Rank for sets without handicraft. Going all the way back to your Rending Beaks 1 from the start of low rank, you can take these down the workshop tree to build the Guild Knight Sabers. You didn't think we'd leave these in the dust, did you? No wasted upgrades. You'll have to upgrade them through the entire workshop tree path, hitting Sworn Rapiers, going to Sworn Rapiers Plus, and into Holy Sabers before finally hitting Guild Knight Sabers. You may have to go back and gather high rank materials to complete this path. It is significantly easier to farm high rank materials once you have Master Rank weapons and armor, so it shouldn't be a huge deal if you need to go back to get something that you're missing. You can forge new Palico gear using the Banbaro material since there really isn't any use for them otherwise. Forge the Feline Banbaro Hood Alpha and the Feline Banbaro Suit Alpha Plus before moving on. If you want to as well, you can go ahead and hunt a Master Rank Rathian to build the Feline Rathian Rapier Alpha Plus, which should tide you over for Palico gear for the majority of Master Rank. Next, complete the assigned quest, Ready to Strike, and hunt a Viper Tobi Kadachi. Viper Tobi Kadachi is weak to Thunder despite still being a Tobi Kadachi, so use the Kadachi Greathawks 1. It also inflicts paralysis and poison, so be prepared with antidotes. If you can socket in paralysis resistance via decorations or on your charm, I would do it. Poison isn't overly scary and antidotes are easy to come by, but being immune to poison and paralysis will trivialize this fight. For gear options, you can build the Vespoid Coil Alpha Plus and Vespoid Greaves Alpha Plus, which will provide you with level 3 paralysis resistance, making you immune to Tobi Kadachi's paralysis shenanigans. If you can be immune to both poison and paralysis, Viper Tobi Kadachi is a joke. Next up is the assigned quest, No Time for Naps, to hunt Nightshade Paolumu. Just like with Viper Tobi Kadachi, Nightshade Paolumu is mostly more annoying than difficult. You can spam energy drinks to stay awake, or you can ignore the entire gimmick of the fight by incorporating level 3 sleep resistance into your set. You can build the Sleep Charm and upgrade it to level 3 by using Radaban and Uragan materials from high rank. The next alternative is by using sleep resistance decorations if you happen to have some on hand. Finally, you can hunt Zitzi Yaku and Radaban in Master Rank and build the Zitzi Greaves Beta Plus and Bon Coil Alpha Plus for easy access to sleep resistance level 3. I would consider all of this optional, and ideally, I would just use the sleep resistance charm or decorations in a pinch. Continue with your assigned quests with Play Both Ends for Coral Pookie Pookie, and then follow it up with Blizzard Blitz to hunt Barioth. After Barioth, you'll have some choices to make for equipment. There are two options coming up for sets that help us in the sharpness department. Finally, there is a third option that's a little more well-rounded, but it comes a bit later. Nargacuga's set has stamina management skills such as Stamina Surge, and the 3-piece bonus is True Razor Sharp, which effectively doubles your weapon's sharpness. This is a nice set for dual blades. The other alternative is Odogaron's set, just like from high rank. This set has more of a focus on Critical Eye, and the 3-piece bonus is Protective Polish. I do personally prefer the Odogaron set here for its synergies with a set later on. First things first, regardless of your choice of what armor set you want to build, you'll want to hunt Odogaron anyways to upgrade your Kodachi Greathawks to the final level. Hunt Odogaron in an expedition in the Coral Highlands or Rotten Vale, or use the Master Rank 3-star quest, Don't Be a Jerk with the Jerky, or any investigations you may have involving Odogaron. Focus on breaking the fangs, legs, and tail, and going for a capture to improve your chances of getting hard Odogaron sinew. Once you have 2 hard Odogaron sinew, upgrade your Kodachi Greathawks 1 to Kodachi Greathawks 2. This is the final upgrade for the Kodachi path, and all that's left is augmenting it in the post-game to improve it further. If you'd prefer to use the Odogaron set, I would recommend farming enough materials here to build the Odogaron Male Beta Plus, the Odogaron Vambraces Beta Plus, and Odogaron Coil Beta Plus. This will activate the 3-piece bonus of Protective Polish. If you're lucky enough to have a Protective Polish decoration, this set is still decent, but you'll be able to be significantly more fluid with your gear options. I would pair these 3 Odogaron pieces with the Great Jagras Helm Alpha Plus and the Baroth Greaves Beta Plus to maintain speed eating and stun resistance. This set is my preference of the 3 options coming up. Conveniently, Nargacuga is up next, and it's actually weakest to Thunder. Time to test out your Kodachi Greathawks 2 in the next assigned quest, Ever-Present Shadow. If you skipped out on Odogaron's set, I would strongly consider building Nargacuga's set. The helm is not good for dual blades, so stick with the Great Jagras Helm Alpha Plus, and then build the chest, hands, waist, and or legs. The alpha versions of most of the Narga set are pretty terrible, and the beta versions are just much better, so I would strongly recommend the beta versions. You'll want to mix and match to get the 3-piece set bonus here. I would advocate for hanging on to the Baroth Greaves and building the Nargacuga Male Beta Plus, the Nargacuga Braces Plus, and the Nargacuga Folds Beta Plus for the 3-piece bonus of True Razor Sharp. Afterwards, you'll have to tackle the next assigned quest, the Scorching Blade, where you'll have to hunt a Glavenus. Glavenus has a very reasonable fire elemental dual blade. Unfortunately, it can't be forged outright, and instead, you're going to have to start at the Jirya Hatchets 1 and go through the high-rank Lavasioth path to get to the Glavenus path in Master Rank. You'll likely have to go back to high rank and farm some Lavasioth for materials. Use the 7-star quest, Lavasioth, Monster of Magma, or any investigations you may have that involve Lavasioth. Hunt Lavasioth until you get the required materials. Start by forging a new set of bone hatchets and work down to Jirya Hatchets 1. You can also build a new pair of Jirya Hatchets 1 outright, then upgrade them to Lava Cyclone 1, followed by Lava Cyclone 2 by using high-rank Lavasioth and Teostra materials. Finally upgrade them once again to Smoldering Cities by using Glavenus materials. Smoldering Cities have good sharpness, high raw, and good fire elemental. Unlike in low and high rank, where there were basically 2 relevant monsters weak to fire, and we really only fought one of them, there are significantly more monsters weak to fire in Master Rank. With the Smoldering Cities built, go ahead and immediately shelf them and re-equip your Kodachi Greathawks 2 again. Do the assigned quests, Absolute Power to hunt a Tigrex, then swap to your Bio Hatchets 1 or your Guild Knight Sabers when you do a Smash and Cross counter to hunt a Brachydios. There are some options here depending on your preferences. If you want a more quality of life set, the Tigrex set is pretty well rounded. It has earplugs, attack, and speed eating with level 3 free meal via the set bonus Free Meal Secret. Level 3 free meal means 75% of the time your consumables just won't get consumed when you use them. This is actually a really nice set if you're going to play online and can incorporate wide range level 5 via your charm or from decorations. Running around chugging mega potions to heal your teammates who refuse to do it themselves is actually an extremely viable strategy when hunting online. Remember, it doesn't have to be pretty. All that matters is that you complete the hunt. It's also a nice set if you have the Devil's Own Luck and have a protective polish decoration. You know, I'm not bitter at all that I still don't have one after 600 hours. For this set, you should just go all in for level 5 earplugs. Alpha helmet and beta everything else can work if you have free meal decorations to take advantage of the set bonus. Once you've cleared both of those big boy bruisers, you'll get to face off against the jobber version of Velkhana. This is immediately followed up with the assigned quest, When the Mist Taketh You, then in parentheses, Shrieking Legiana, which is actually an expedition mode. After maybe one of the worst Legiana fights you've ever had, I don't know why they nerfed flash bombs so much, you'll have the ability to upgrade your ice weapons once again. You may have to hunt additional Shrieking Legianas in optional quests, or in any investigations that you may have involving Shrieking Legiana. Prioritize upgrading your Biohatchets 1 into Biohatchets 2. Just like with the Kodachi Greathawks, these are finished now, and all that's left is augmentations and post-game content. Shrieking Legiana also holds the materials to upgrade your Water Elemental Dual Blades. Upgrade your Guild Knight Sabers into Master Sabers once you have the materials. Nothing overly special, but the next assigned quest is the Thunderous Troublemaker to hunt Fulgur Anjanath. The Vambraces and Coil are nice pickups, but it's not really worth losing your set bonuses for them. If you happen to have a Protective Polish decoration, consider these two pieces, as Item Prolonger actually extends the duration of Protective Polish. After Fulgur Anjanath, head back to the Rotten Vale for the assigned quest, the Disintegrating Blade. This is a special note. Acidic Glavenus' gear is actually decent and has a lot of handicraft. The choices in this guide are designed to be usable without handicraft and instead rely on razor sharp or protective polish, which makes most of the gear fairly lackluster. However, the helmet has level 2 Effluvia resistance, which is very useful for hunting Black Veil of Al-Hazak. You can pair this with a single Effluvia resistance decoration, or another piece of gear to become immune to Valhazak's maximum HP reduction, which turns him into a joke of an Elder Dragon. Unfortunately, in a cruel twist of fate, the Miasma Charm at level 3 requires Black Veil Valhazak materials. The Acidic Glavenus chest is also nice for handicraft and stamina surge. The Kodachi Greathawks 2 do reach purple sharpness with a single point of handicraft, so that has some reasonable synergy with protective polish. Unfortunately, you'll likely have to break your set bonus, which makes it a tough sell. The Vambraces are a nice pickup for a future build, as they're a lot like the Baroth Greaves. Level 2 stun resistance and a lot of decoration slots. Consider picking them up for options. Acidic Glavenus being unlocked should also unlock another tier of room quest to capture an Acidic Glavenus. Completing the room quest, optional Master Rank 4-star, the Perfect Room Light Iron, should reward you not only with room decorations, but also the incredibly valuable Razor Sharp Charm. You will have to work through the various optional quests until this one unlocks. Talk to the feline attendant in your room, and complete all the quests you're given until this one finally comes up. The Razor Sharp Charm is insanely useful, and you'll likely only take it off in some very specific situations. You should pick this up as soon as possible. It's also just a straight up quest reward and doesn't require any rare materials to craft it. If you're using the Nargacuga set, you can choose to adjust your set and use the Razor Sharp Charm, or focus on a different charm and maintain the 3-piece bonus from Nargacuga's set. Back on track, it's time for the next assigned quest, Bad Friends, Great Enemies. Ebony Odogaron inflicts Dragon Blight, which removes your elemental damage from weapons. Come prepared with copious amounts of Nullberries or the Dragon-proof Mantle to help combat this. While afflicted with Dragon Blight, your damage output gets severely crippled on elemental dual blades. Ebony Odogaron has a lot of upgrades. You'll likely need to hunt a good number of Ebony Odogaron for all of these, but it will be worth it. Keep track of any investigations you may get to speed up the farming process. First things first, prioritize upgrading your Smoldering Cities into Smoldering Cities Plus by using Ebony Odogaron Hardfangs. Do your best to smash his teeth in during all of your hunts. Afterwards, Ebony Odogaron has a powerful Dragon Element Dual Blade. This has good raw, very high affinity, high Dragon Element, and maximum white sharpness. It's a great choice versus anything that's weak to Dragon Element, which unfortunately is kind of rare. You'll have a few options on how to build this, but it does involve going through the Odogaron path. You'll have to start back at good old Bone Hatchets 1, and upgrade these through to Pulsar Hatchets. and then go into low-rank Garon hatchets, and finally through the high-rank Odogaron path to the Blood Drinker Chainblade. Alternatively, you can forge a Blood Drinker Chainblade outright, and proceed through the path through Sin and Sin Plus, before branching down to the Nether Chainblades and the Ebony Odogaron path. Armor-wise, if you're using the Odogaron Mail Beta Plus, you can swap to the Death Garon Mail Beta Plus. This changes your Speed Sharpening level 2 to Critical Eye level 2 and Dragon Resistance level 1. You'll also maintain your 3-piece set bonus of Protective Polish with your regular Odogaron armor, since Odogaron and Ebony Odogaron share a set bonus. Once that's done, it's finally time to take on Velkhana. First, you'll get a set-piece battle in the assigned quest, the Defense of Celiana. Then you'll have to hunt it for real in the next assigned quest, the Iceborne Wyvern. Why is it a wyvern? It's got 4 legs. Use your Smoldering Cities Plus or the Nether Chainblades for this hunt. Velkhana, as the flagship monster, has some strong offerings. Quests for hunting Elder Dragons in Master Rank will have Conqueror Seals in the rewards. Once you get 3, you can upgrade your Water Elemental Dual Blades to the final tier. Upgrade your Master Sabers into Holy Guild Knight once you've acquired enough materials from hunting Elder Dragons. Now for armor, the 2-piece Velkhana set bonus is Critical Element. This has great synergy with the Odogaron Death Garon hybrid set, as it has a lot of natural critical eye. I would suggest going with the Rimeguard Helm Beta Plus and Rimeguard Greaves Beta Plus, as they are the easiest to incorporate into the best pieces of the Odogaron set. You can also get some value out of Critical Draw by sheathing and doing an unsheath attack while your dual blades are fully charged in Archdemon mode. So Critical Draw is actually not as bad as it may seem. The alpha version of Rimeguard has Coalescence, which is an interesting skill, but it's highly valued and sort of unreliable. The slots on the beta version will be more reliable, which is unfortunate because the alpha set looks way cooler. You'll also gain access to the Dober Male Beta Plus and Dober Coil Alpha Plus after you beat Velkhana and get some large Elder Dragon Bones. I would look into this exclusively for Black Veil Valhazak coming up soon. If you want some alternatives and don't mind breaking the Protective Polish set bonus, you can swap the Death Garon Male Beta Plus for the Rathalos Male Beta Plus to swap Critical Eye for Weakness Exploit. Dual Blades generally miss weak points a lot because of how you kind of flail your arms about while demon dancing, so I prefer Critical Eye for lower but more consistent affinity bonuses over Weakness Exploit. Personally, I like to just keep it simple and use the Rimeguard Odogaron hybrid set. After Velkhana is down, you'll have the ability to hunt Elder Dragons via repeatable optional quests. The final tier of the Glavenus Dual Blades require Fire Dragon Hard Claws from Teostra. You'll want to fight Teostra in the Master Rank 5-star optional quest, Mark of the Sun, or via any investigations you may have involving Teostra. Use your Guild Knight Sabers or your Bio Hatchets too, they'll both be fairly comparable on Teostra. These Elder Dragon quests cycle, so you may have to come back and check periodically. Once you have your 2 Hard Claws, upgrade your Smoldering Cities Plus into the final tier, Smoldering Kingdoms. For armor, Teostra's 3-piece set bonus is Master's Touch. This makes it so that when you land a critical hit, your weapon won't lose sharpness. This is a strong option for sharpness management, but Razor Sharp via the charm is usually adequate. Your best options are the Kaiser Crown Beta Plus, the Kaiser Vambraces Beta Plus, and Kaiser Coil Beta Plus to unlock Master's Touch via the 3-piece set bonus. I would not advocate grinding for the Teostra set, but it's your preference. It's strong if you have access to a lot of powerful decorations. You'll likely want to pair this with Velkhana's Rimeguard 2-piece bonus for Critical Element. But back on track, the next assigned quest is the Second Coming, to hunt a literally seething Basiljuice. Use Bio Hatchets 2 for this one, his type weakness changed from high rank. But Kodachi Greathawks 2 are still a strong option. Master Rank Basiljuice has a nice 2-piece set. If you have an earplug decoration, the Pride Helm Beta Plus and Pride Greaves Alpha Plus make a very easy maxed out earplugs and provide the 2-piece set bonus of Guts, which is much more valuable in Master Rank than in High Rank. It's another option for you, but I would stick with the Velkhana Odogaron set for now. Keep it in your back pocket if you're desperate for earplugs or find yourself carding a lot and are desperate for Guts. Now for the next assigned quest, Under the Veil of Death to hunt Black Veil Valhazak. You'll want to use your fairly new Smoldering Kingdoms or the Nether Chainblades here. As stated earlier in this guide, Effluvia resistance completely changes the game with Black Veil Valhazak. I would do some modifications to your gear loadout to equip the Acidic Glavenus Helm Alpha Plus and the Dober Mail Beta Plus to get level 3 Effluvia resistance. With level 3 Effluvia resistance, you'll never get your maximum HP halved by Valhazak's Miasma. This 2-piece gear setup is the most consistent way to get level 3 Effluvia resistance if you don't have any decorations. Once you get the Miasma Charm at level 3, I would resort to that instead for when you hunt Valhazak. Realistically, if you're fine spamming Nullberries, just be careful and use the Velkhana Odogaron mix set. The next assigned quest is A Light from the Abyss, where you'll have to fight a new Elder Dragon, Namiel. Use your Smoldering Kingdoms or the Nether Chainblade here. Namiel has the materials to upgrade the Nether Chainblades into Death Row, and you should upgrade them once you get the 2 required Namiel Hard Claws. Do your best to break the claws during the fight. Just like with Teostra, Namiel has an interesting set bonus, Element Acceleration. The Tentacle Coil Beta Plus and Tentacle Greaves Beta Plus provide some nice stamina management skills, and will give you the 2-piece bonus. You can incorporate another 2 pieces to reach true Element Acceleration, but personally I just stick with the Velkhana Odogaron set. This can be a nice adjustment, especially if you want to look like a Squid Kid. After Namiel, it's the final assigned quests of the main story. You'll want to complete To the Guided, a Pain, to hunt a total jobber version of Ruiner Nergigante, and finally, Pain of Guidance to hunt Shara Ishvalda. Shara Ishvalda is a terrible fight for dual blades. You don't have the reach to reliably hit the head and chest to break the parts for the first phase. You'll have to rely on the Clutch Claw and Slinger ammo to get your damage in. I would legitimately consider using a different weapon for Shara Ishvalda, such as Greatsword or Bow, if you actually want to build its gear, because you'll need to break off its scalp. I don't want to say it's impossible to break Shara Ishvalda's scalp off with dual blades, but it will be an extremely painful experience to do so. Shara Ishvalda, fortunately, doesn't have much offerings for dual blades. The weapons are raw powerhouses, and with dual blades, you desperately want elemental damage, so they're kinda out. The armor is interesting, as the 5-piece set bonus effectively turns every single one of your mantles into a Rocksteady mantle. This means you can use a mantle with a really high uptime and powerful sockets like the Glider Mantle Plus to really abuse the true Gaia's Veil effect. Your mileage with this will probably vary, but it's a nice set for farming parts from easier monsters because of Part Breaker and the set bonus, or when you're helping out a friend. It's kind of a cool vanity item too. I would strongly recommend using the materials from Shara Ishvalda to give your feline companion a new set of armor for an improvement to its overall defenses. The limiting factor in almost all of Shara Ishvalda's gear is tender plates and gems, which largely only come from breaking its scalp and carving it, or extremely rarely from quest rewards. This means all your boulder plates, tender scales, and the like are mostly just going to end up taking up space in your box waiting for a tender plate or a gem to come by. Go ahead and build the Feline Ishvalda Crown Alpha Plus and Feline Ishvalda Raiment Alpha Plus so your Palico can reach spiritual enlightenment. After Shara Ishvalda, you'll be given access to a new locale, the Guiding Lands, and you'll have some immediate goals. The Guiding Lands may as well have been called the Augment Lands, because they exist almost solely to give you some final customization options for your weapons. You'll want to run around the Guiding Lands hunting monsters to level up areas and gathering from bone piles and mineral deposits to be able to max out your weapons. However, you'll want to prioritize getting the Coral Highlands area to level 6. At level 6, Silver Rathalos can appear. The Silver Rathalos set is the final set we're interested in if you care about pure damage output, as the set bonus is true critical element. You'll want to hunt Silver Rathalos in the Guiding Lands until you can get investigations or special arena quests by capturing. You'll have to fight Silver Rathalos inside the Guiding Lands as well as in these quests or investigations, because certain necessary parts simply do not drop while you're in the Guiding Lands, instead giving you augment materials. It will be a while before Silver Rathalos shows up, because the areas in the Guiding Lands are capped based on your master rank. You'll have to hunt a lot of monsters to cap out your rank, then do a side quest to break the limit and continue onwards. Eventually, you'll be able to reach up to level 6 Coral Highlands and Silver Rathalos will appear. That may or may not happen for some time. It took over 12 hours with Coral Highlands at level 6 before a single Silver Rathalos showed up, but I think I was just insanely unlucky. You will need to do several assigned quests on your way to Master Rank 100. Eventually, you'll come across Yan Garuga in an assigned quest. The most notable piece of the Garuga gear are the Greaves Beta Plus. These have level 2 critical eye, a level 4 decoration slot, and 2 level 2 decoration slots. They're one of the best pieces of footwear in the game, and pair exceptionally well with the rest of the Silver Soul beta gear. Rajang will also become available after some time spent in post-game. Rajang has a decent set, but the biggest problem with it is that True Critical Element is so powerful that the Silver Rathalos set outclasses it entirely. Its dual blades may look cool, but they are extremely lackluster in the damage and sharpness departments. Finally, after hitting Master Rank 100, you'll be able to hunt Ruiner Nergigante for real. Just like with Rajang, Ruiner Nergigante has some offerings that are mostly outclassed by Silver Rathalos' gear, and weapons that you already have. If you want, you can build Ruinous Decimation if you built the Nurgle Gouge way back in high rank. But your death row will be comparable in terms of damage output and sharpness. I would consider this less of a necessary dragon weapon and more of a vanity item, especially since Dragon Element is pretty lackluster in Monster Hunter World Iceborne. The other secondary goal you have is to augment your arsenal. This is a lot less tedious than in high rank where augments were a complete dice roll with streamstones. You'll likely get enough materials to augment your weapons by just running around harvesting bones, mining, and hunting monsters throughout the guiding lands as you attempt to level up the various areas. Nothing's changed. Just hunt everything indiscriminately and harvest all the materials you can see. You can use the Elder Melder to swap some materials for other ones if you're short on some specific materials. Maybe. It kind of depends. The big nuance to the augment system is the new custom upgrades that appear on the generic rank 10 style weapons, such as the Kodachi Greathawks and the Bio Hatchets. This effectively acts as a second augmentation and can be done up to 5 times. Many of them are fairly unimpactful, such as adding 1 affinity or a few raw damage, but the element customizations are always noteworthy for dual blades. You should absolutely prioritize the element damage custom upgrades for these weapons. With all 5, it adds 50 elemental damage to the base. The way elemental damage scaling works is the higher the base elemental damage, the better your scaling becomes. This means that these lower tiered weapons actually become the most powerful once fully augmented and maxed out with custom upgrades. While certain weapons like the Kodachi Greathawks have always been your best options, and will remain the best of their element, other weapons we've used, such as the Smoldering Kingdoms, will actually be outclassed by things like the Anja Rippers 2 or Shattering Flames 2 once you've built, fully augmented, and customized them. This is not some instantaneous process and will require a lot of grinding in the Guiding Lands. Congratulations, that will be your endgame. Grinding in the Guiding Lands. I'd like to thank my Patreon supporters for their continued support of the channel. It goes a long way. Thank you. 1 down. 13 more to go.